Been 7 days.
Yo, yes, it's been you. You counting now?
I can't wait, Robbo. It's been 7 long days.
It's you counting now. You counting down the days. I don't know why you're counting down the days.
Why?
You're saying to yourself, it's been 7 days. We haven't talked about Here Comes the Laughter. Ole! Yeah, it's been 7 days, Ernie. How does it feel? 1 week of no Manchester United talk.
Robbo. Even when we're not on social media, it's still the hottest topic. Ollie. I mean, this week he's come back from his week vacation on social media, peer pictures of him driving back to Carrington's. I mean, football would be very boring if they put a blanket press, if they put a blank on Manchester United and said no one talk about Manchester United for a week. It would be so boring. It would be so boring.
But we give them
something to talk about.
He's definitely the most endangered species in the world. And he's been saved. And here we are, COP26, climate change, global warming,
people gone
the planet.
missing, all that
and
business.
This man is getting
he's
saved
still there
with his job. A very high-paid job. Unbelievable. You couldn't make it up.
He's still there, mate. I tell you what, Ollie for Prime Minister.
Yeah, it looks like
that's what I say.
Well,
Ollie for Prime Minister.
Enough about Ollie and his job. We got to get on with our job. It is the Fixture List Friday night. Robbo Ranks Daddy Ernie. A very compact show, so we're going to try to keep it to about an hour. We have obviously big fixtures that we're going to talk about this evening. And of course, I think Ernie was on a social media thing. I don't know. We'll find out how Ernie's been getting on with social media. He's just told us before the show. Did you see that story? I wonder if he's got any more reggae stories to talk about on social media.
What's he on about now?
I wonder.
What's he on about now? What is he on about now? Remember to share. If you're on YouTube, it's simple. You just press the thumb sign and subscribe. The numbers are moving up slowly, innit, Robbo? Slowly but surely.
It's moving up slowly, but you know what I mean? You know, good things take time.
Yes.
As one Dutchman said, these things take time. Was it a Dutchman? It wasn't it an advert for beer? And the man said, don't pour the beer, these things takes time.
That was before my time, Robert. That was before my time, mate. I didn't know
about that. It was a beer. Anyway, Robert White is in the house also, so we're going to move to Robert in a hot second. And he's dodged the Manchester United bullet, but will you be dodging it tonight? Will you be, as the viewers, would you want to carry on this subject of who should be at the wheel? Should it be Ole or should it be somebody else? But there's, Ernie, for 1 week, we have loads of fixtures this week. Saturday is Ram.
I think everybody's playing Saturday, and it's only Tottenham playing Sunday. I don't think there's no Monday night football.
Well, I've got I do have the fixtures here, but it is one of those weeks where everybody's at it this week. Everybody's out and brawling. So many league games. I'm wondering how most teams will get on after this international break. No European games, but it's an international break, and normally it sends some teams skidding. Skidding on their hands.
You know what? I mean, we can talk a little bit about these international breaks. I mean, what is the point of England playing somebody like San Marino and Albania? Is it Albania they play? They played San Marino. They get 10.
Well, it's a place where you get your wine from, isn't it?
But it's a complete waste of time, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a waste of time for Albania or San Marino because they obviously want to, bring their country to a World Cup final which is probably going to be, and this is another reason why it's kind of hard for those teams. It's going to be the richest World Cup final ever. The most amount of money is going to be up for grabs. I mean, it's not about the international clubs making money, but it will be a money fest. You think about all that money that's going to be sloshing around in the Middle East and the commercial exploits that teams can actually get on, and there's those commercial conveyor belts, man. There's going to be lots of money. So I think for players, the status of yes is one thing, playing in a World Cup, but can you imagine like being the front cover like Daddy Ernie for a sports brand? Like,
I'll tell you what,
Ernie.
yeah, just for that and wearing this shirt, I'll have some of that as well. You know what I mean? But really and truly, what's that? Is that Robbo's version of Usain?
That'd be me. If I get one of them sports brand,
you know that.
I'd be surfing, man. Yeah, So the international breaks are not very clever, not designed to be very clever.
Ridiculous.
But effectively, it'll be once every 4 years. It's one of those things.
I mean, 10-0. Come on. Now they're saying that the Titanic is the highest scoring defender in the history of British football. Come on, that's how low they're sinking this press. That's how low it is. I mean, when you're saying that the Titanic has scored more goals than any other defender, I mean, they really have not got anything.
You're not having it.
To talk about.
The dupes is back. The dupes is back. You're not having it, no?
No. I don't care how many goals he scored. He has to leave. When Ollie goes, he can take him with him. You know what I mean?
I don't. You're a bit harsh.
Yeah, it probably won't.
He's your captain. He's your captain, and he's your leader, and he's called Blockhead. You know what I mean?
Slabhead, not Blockhead. It's Slabhead.
Whether no one call him Blockhead, Slabhead. Good evening to Mike Yearwood. Also Master Blaster. Some of the texts are coming through. Remember, guys, send your messages. If you're on Facebook, drop your shouts. Master Blaster has started already. Smaller football playing nations need something like the World Cup competition. Ernie,
World Cup plate competition.
Yeah, World Cup plate, World Cup fork. They need something. They need some kind of World Cup thing.
Yeah,
Ernie, you're harsh, man. The man.
They're not. They're not. Listen, Robbo, and the football fraternity know there is no chance of San Marino getting to play in the World Cup. Not unless they just say, come along and play. They're not going to qualify. You know what I mean? At least Jamaica managed to do it one time. They're not going to do it this time. That's why we've been looking for our Jamaican correspondent, but Crystal.
She was busy having a good time.
Yeah, she's gone completely missing. That's what happens when you go to Jamaica. You go there with good intentions to carry on but you get sidelined.
Shouts going out to Mark. I can call him Mark Yearwood. There is a Mark Yearwood.
No.
Big up Mark Yearwood, but this is the Mark YD. Newcastle going to get their first win this season.
What?
Are you crazy?
Who's Newcastle playing though? They're playing
Brighton,
Brentford.
No, they're playing Brentford.
Brentford.
They're not going to get a win against Brentford.
They're playing playing at
home, but they're not getting a win against Brentford.
Okay.
That bad run with Brentford has got to stop sometimes, and I think it stops tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, he's here tomorrow, but today, or was he here yesterday? Oh, he hasn't been here for a few weeks. It's our man, Robert. Where have you been yesterday, tomorrow? Where you been, bro?
I assure you, I ain't been hiding.
I reckon you've been hiding.
I've been working, and I've been not been well, as you know. I was sick for a while.
I'll be sick with those results.
I've also been trying to deal with this anti-Solskjaer thing that's been going on for the last.
Which anti-Solskjaer thing you talking about?
Well, let's face it. There's been an.
Let's face him.
Look at it.
Where's my laughter? Where there? Where's my laughter gone?
Robert, this is Robert's claim to fame over the last few weeks, Robert.
I know, man. I know.
You know,
because I've been seeing it all over. And if we go back to when Solskjaer got the job, do you remember who was his biggest champion, who was championing for the job?
Daddy Ernie.
No, not really. I meant what pundit-wise, you know.
Daddy Ernie. He's a pundit.
Who came up with the slogan, Ollie's at the wheel?
Ferdinand.
Oh, Rio.
Hey, exactly. Right?
Ferdinand. And where is he now?
And Ferdinand is one of the biggest ones picking the next manager.
The knifing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's typical Rio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what that reminds me of, though, Robert? That reminds me of back in the day when Alan Hansen was a famed pundit on the BBC, and he said, "You ain't gonna win nothing with kids."
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
you know, they live to rue those statements.
Those words.
They talk with a football head, but then, you know, it just slips into madness. And when that, I think wasn't a Champions League. I think you guys beat PSG, and he said, "Give the man a contract."
Yeah.
He's at the wheel and slammed the table on BT Sports.
Exactly.
Yeah. What a thing.
So the thing is, right, he had all these people that's really putting forward for the job. And let's put it this way. He's done well in what he's got to. The problem is, as a young manager, he's going to make mistakes. And we know he's going to make mistakes. And we've all watched some of the mistakes that's been going on for the last 2 seasons, hoping that they'll be corrected. And they've not been corrected. Yeah. And I think, I was an Ollie in all the way. Last season, we saw we got second. We said, well, all right, we know we've got problems with the defence. They'll fix all that. But, you know, we brought in a new defender, but the defence has got worse. You know, we've let in the same amount of goals as Burnley. And it's almost like, if I was to go back and look at it and try to address something, I think, well, he's placed a lot of trust in people that he shouldn't do, probably. You know, inexperience has done that.
I wouldn't say inexperience, Robert.
Well, as a manager...
but I'm saying trusting players. I thought you meant the players were inexperienced.
No. I meant that as a manager, he's inexperienced. Because he would know straight away, look, I've placed trust in this guy and it's time to take him out. Like, you know, we've identified for the last... Well, as United fans, for the last 2 seasons, that we're playing a system in trying to play out from the back, and our players aren't good enough to be playing out from the back. And if you look at our goalkeeper, most of the top teams, if you look at like Liverpool, you look at like Man City, they got a goalkeeper that can play with his feet. He will play out from the back. He will pass it out from the back. Our goalkeeper gives the ball to Maguire, and Maguire tries to play it out from the back. Yeah?
Well, then your goalkeeper should stop giving the ball to Maguire.
He should do, but he must be instructed to do that. Something must be going on. As the captain, he must be instructed to do that. So that then goes back to the coaching staff. What are they doing? Because we can see that these problems have been there for the last season. We take far too long to get the ball out of our half into the opposition half. And Maguire, we know, he's always getting closed down. No, he's getting closed down because they've all worked it out. If you look at the Leicester City game, you can see a prime example of a team that knows exactly what United's going to do and who to close down. That's why Leicester done so well against us. They knew close down Maguire. And we keep giving him the ball and they keep closing him down, losing it. Yeah, that's how they got their first equaliser.
Yeah.
Well, surely if you see that as players on the pitch, you do something about it, regardless of what
we're seeing
the
it
manager
fans
says.
for 2 seasons, right? We're seeing it for fans. So that then goes back to the coaching staff. Aren't they seeing that? You know,
maybe they've seen it, but they just don't really trust Ole.
Experience. Do you remember under Sir Alex Ferguson how many coaches we had? You would change coaches every so often.
Yeah.
Freshen it
new
up.
coach for new things, for the type of players.
Yeah, but what we've done, it's like Ollie has given the jobs to
his mates.
Yeah, like
How dare you, Ernie? You know,
yes.
Look at him. Look.
I won't have this. Listen, I won't have this. I know you're trying to weasel out of him.
I'm not weaseling out.
No, I know you're trying to weasel out of him being a net manager. But don't say
no.
He gave the coaching to his mates. He wants the job. He wants to keep the job.
I'm saying that his inexperience is what's costing him right now.
So is Master Blaster. Until the Muppet gets an elite, the Muppets get an elite manager, they won't win a major prize.
Right. The thing is,
Master Blaster shouldn't be saying that.
Why should he be saying that? He's observing the game like me and you.
No, but he's a Newcastle supporter. They haven't got no chance of winning anything.
But what's that? What has it got to
All
do
right,
with the?
all right. Let's go back to
supports?
this, right? What did we lose the Europa Cup on?
Penalties.
No,
Penalties.
we lost on a specific penalty.
The
All
goalkeeper.
our players took penalties and scored.
Yeah.
And it came down to our goalkeeper. That's what we lost a cup on. So say that we would never win anything with the manager, it was just done on that.
True.
And we were criticised for not beating that team in full time. Chelsea played them in the Champions Cup and couldn't beat them in full time and went to penalties. But Chelsea won on penalties.
Oh, you got an interesting game this week talking about Europe. You got an interesting game. I don't think your game this weekend is the
Villarreal, the same team.
I think
Same team.
I think your game against Villarreal is going to be very tasty, and I believe it's on Tuesday. But we'll talk about it in a hot second. Guys, if you're watching the show on Facebook, last week you done really fabulous for us. The sharing the show was really good. So if you can share it on your Facebook page, just pressing that share button, and more people will be able to view the show. We're moving up, and also your messages. I haven't quite got any messages on Facebook for some reason. Although on my page, I got Johan. I don't know where he's messaging me from. He says Arsenal should beat Liverpool tomorrow. Man United to lose the game. It goes on to say they taught. He said Liverpool's kind of learnt their lesson against newly promoted Brentford. But I don't know about that. We didn't learn much lessons because we went into the Brighton game sleepwalking, and then we went into Antonio and we buck up. But I think we've had a chance to regroup, and one thing with Klopp, he does manage to turn things around. He doesn't have crazy runs, although last year was a madness with no defenders. But he normally finds a way of turning it around.
But you got a few injuries though, ain't you, Robbo?
Yeah, but I think the core is still strong. I think as long as Matip, Van Dijk, Fabinho, I think we're missing Firmino. That would have been a difference for us against West Ham. Firmino would have been that extra body in the midfield. But I don't think it's a crisis yet. And remember, guys, we're only 10 games. I mean, I've had Arsenal fans. We're 2 points behind you. And I'm like saying, Bredgin, do you know what month it is? Brother, you do know it's November.
I mean, we ain't even too far behind you.
But it's November. And you can be up the table because we've only played 10 games. So your point tally is going to look good after 10 games. When it goes to 15 and 16 and the gap starts to widen and you start mind the gap, then you'll realize that it's only because there's a small amount of games that's being played. Worry about how the table looks come December. By December, you kind of have an idea who's going to be fighting and who's going to be dying. It's as simple as that, bro.
After 4 games, Arsenal wanted to sack their manager. Arsenal wanted to sack their manager.
But it was a bad run of games, man. They lost, was it
4 games? It was only the first few games.
No, but they lost them, bro.
It don't matter.
But you don't bail out your manager straight away because of that, do you?
No, but you lose 3 games on a bounce.
And then they turn around now and saying that he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Well, shall we start with Liverpool and Arsenal?
Yeah, why not? It's the biggest game of the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
But listen, Arsenal arguably are one of the form teams.
Definitely.
In
Not
the
arguably. Definitely.
Form team at the moment. From where they're coming from.
It says Arsenal have kept 6 clean sheets in their last 9 games away, including each of their last 3 in a row.
Who have they played? What are the teams they played in the last few games?
Well, they had a rough. They had what in the last few games?
Yeah, those clean sheets.
I'll have to have a look at who
The
they
clean
played,
sheets, but it wouldn't have been.
This all happened after, like the Man City thumping and the Chelsea thumping. So let's be clear. The teams that they've come up against, which to me showed some green shoots, was a game against Leicester. I think the Leicester game, if I was an Arsenal fan, taking Leicester apart away was a real good sign. But as I said, it would be within the first 10 games.
Yeah, but remember, Leicester has been going through a rough patch as well. It's not like Leicester have been playing great. I mean, their great game was against United because they knew exactly how to play us.
Arsenal are now on the longest unbeaten run of any side in the Premier League.
Good.
That's form, Reggie. That is
Well,
form.
you know,
That's
a
good
lot of
form.
people think that it's gonna all go Pete Tong tomorrow, so we'll have to wait and see. Liverpool will destroy Arsenal. Liverpool has a manager, and Arsenal's got an old midfielder for a manager.
Well, I don't think that's got nothing to do with anything, man. I mean, it's down to the quality of players. I think Liverpool's quality of players are kind of, obviously ahead of Arsenal, but it's 11 versus 11. We saw what happened last week, man. If you marshal your troops, you give them the right instructions, and they carry it out, you usually can come out of a game with a draw or a win. If you don't carry it out, you get beaten. And I think for Liverpool, we beat ourselves. I don't know if you watched the game against West Ham. It was almost like you could have avoided things like jumping up for the ball and not catching it against a team that's good on set plays. So they're good on set plays. So what do? You make sure that you work on it. If you don't work on it, you beat yourself. We play a high line. We play a high line, Ernie. We play this high line. A man comes blaring down the centre. Your two centre defenders are right up on the halfway line. What can happen? You can play a ball through. A man comes and score.
Run it
to
down.
me, I think those things you beat yourself because Liverpool are very good at nullifying those problems. But I think the game for me where I've kind of worried about Liverpool is the Brighton game. Not the West Ham game. It's the Brighton game. We're just too comfortable, bro.
Okay. Well,
Haven't heard Robbo talk like that in a long time. But yes, we murder Arsenal tomorrow, though.
All right. Well, I'm looking back at the last few games, right, that they played. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 5 Premier League games. Right. If you go backwards, counting backwards. Oh, no, let's come up. Liverpool played Man City, 2-2 draw. Liverpool played Watford, 5-0 win. They were playing away to Watford, by the way. They played away to United, 5-0 win. So 10 goals in 2 games and clean sheets, right? They drew 2-2 with Brighton. Now, I suppose that's probably the hangover from beating United and scoring 10 goals in the last 2 matches. And then they lost 3-2 to West Ham. West Ham, to me, are the informed team. Yeah. West Ham's the informed team. Why you say that?
More than that.
West Ham are 3rd in the table. They're above you.
But there's teams above us. I don't think Chelsea are in form. They're flying high. But
but West Ham ain't. You can't say West Ham's not in form if they're above you.
Why I say they're in form? Look where Arsenal's come from. They was at the bottom of the table, bro.
All right, let's look at Arsenal's climb, or the last 4 games, because we were saying about their clean sheets. Arsenal drew 0-0 with Brighton away.
Tough game.
They drew 2-2 with Crystal Palace at home.
That was a game they could have lost.
They could have lost that game. Right. They beat Villa 3-1 at home.
Good game.
Yeah. They beat Leicester 2-0 away.
Good game again.
Good game.
And they beat Arsenal 1-0 away. So they've only got clean sheets in their last 2 Premier League games.
Well, I still think coming from the bottom of the table and to be sitting 2 points behind Liverpool, I think that's good form. But I'll give you that. West Ham are definitely on form, and they're carrying that European form.
Yeah.
And Premier League form is really difficult.
Are underestimating West Ham. West Ham knocked United out the cup, and everyone was saying, "Oh, yeah." Then they went and knocked City out the cup. So it's no fluke. Yeah.
Well, we have a Arsenal fan. Finally, someone decided to turn up from Arsenal. Someone's got to represent the what do they call themselves? The Gooners. The Gooners. The great Tipper Ari joining us. Daddy Tips a chap on the mic and that is Irie. Chap on the mic and that is Irie. We have chat. So you have chat
Sorry,
come
guys,
Saturday
man.
night.
You know what? I just coming from your side of the town, Robbo, man.
Okay.
And I went to David Lloyd for a swim.
Oh.
Yes, sir. I do
What?
frequent those places from
What?
time to
Step up in
time.
the world. David Lloyd,
I've not seen your car parked outside the expensive David Lloyd.
he's gone from the legend
and
to David Lloyd.
I gave myself an hour to get back, and I thought, I'll be back for 8 o'clock on the nose. But then London traffic had other ideas.
Well, you're looking well, son. That swim did you well.
Did you
use the sauna as well?
I did sauna and steam. I do try my best to get in there at least 3-4 times a week. It's necessary. We need that. We need that time to clear head.
Clear
and,
your nose too. Clear your nose too, innit?
He needs a little cream, though. He needs a little cream there, Tipper.
No, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I know, but hey,
don't
it's
listen to him, jealous, man.
rushing back to see your to be, to at least 45 minutes of time.
You're glowing, son. You're glowing like your team right now. You're a happy man.
Well,
You must
look.
be.
He ain't.
Well, look.
He's gonna tell
Look,
you.
Ernie. Look, right. After the first 3 games, right, and we lost those 3 games. I went to an event. Went to a birthday party, and this brother, he had a gold season ticket down at the Emirates, and normally I would have taken his hand off and take that season ticket. But listen, I said to him, brother, you can keep it. Me no want go down there. I don't want to what the way how the team is playing right now. Me no want go down there. You can keep that season ticket. I'm not having it. Yeah. And 11 games later, 12 games later, I think he's had about 3-4 draws and the rest have been wins. I'm still not convinced by this manager. I'll be honest. But at the moment, I'm eating humble pie. Most of my friends, my Arsenal colleagues, they're quietly confident tomorrow, but I'm not.
There you go.
Do you know, it's funny, a lot of Arsenal fans in the time that I've kind of like watched Arsenal, like on the other side of the great Arsenal, you come to Anfield always quietly confident. And it's a game, I don't know about you, but for Liverpool fans, I think London games are really big for Liverpool. They're really big on London games. Tottenham comes to Anfield, Chelsea comes to Anfield, and I could say this, I think Chelsea is now the bigger fixture, Liverpool, Chelsea. But Liverpool, Arsenal, for the fans and for the manager and for the players, they see that as a real marker. Liverpool have obviously in the last 6 years have done really well against Arsenal at Anfield, but you guys always seem to come to those games quietly confident. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know about that. Not for the past few years. We've been getting our ass slapped every time we come to Anfield. So what it will be is a barometer of how far Arteta has really come. Yeah. Against Liverpool tomorrow. So we will see. I don't think we have a prayer personally, but you never know. They might turn up. West Ham are flying at the moment. Yeah, I mean, they are absolutely flying at the moment, and they turned them over. I didn't expect them to turn them over, but they did. Even though they were flying, I thought Liverpool would still beat them. But, West Ham, we're quite decent at set pieces at the moment. So if we get a couple of set pieces, get people like Gabriel and these guys are really good in the air. So we might, you never know, we might sneak a goal or two. But the thing is with Arsenal, when we go to Anfield, a lot of the time we score first and then we get our arse slapped. So even if we go 1-up, I'm not going to be confident.
Yeah. Well, you're doing well. I mean, the area that Liverpool like to exploit is your fullbacks. We love an Arsenal fullback. since the days of the glory days, you lot have never really replaced that area and centre mid. That's like two areas you always know. Boy, you look at Arsenal, you think, where's their fullbacks? Where's their Laurent? Where's their Vieira? They have you've never plugged those gaps. But you've plugged the gaps really well with your new
the right back.
And
yeah, I mean, he spent a lot of money on Ben White, and everybody, most people. I mean, most of the Leeds supporters and a lot of people had confidence. Well, he played up there and he did well, so they were backing him. But obviously, for me, I thought it was a lot of money. Yeah, but to be honest, all of our Arteta signings, the right back, the new guy that they've got at left back,
Tavares and Tomiyasu.
Gabriel. And
I actually thought I saw that Tomiyasu guy come to your club, and Ramsdale, the goalkeeper, and I thought, boy, this don't look good, man. These guys don't look like Arsenal type players, and they have. Brother,
look out! But they've done the only one that's not lit up the place as yet is Odegaard. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he permanent at the club now?
Yeah, he's permanent at the club, and I think the system is not suiting him. But I just hope he stays with the 4-4-2 tomorrow and play the way that we've been playing. Keep the same system. I don't think Tierney should come in. I think he should leave the back four how it is. Play Partey and Lokonga in the middle of the park. And then, of course, Aubameyang and Lacazette up front with Saka and Smith Rowe on the wings.
How did he manage to get Aubameyang and Lacazette in the same team? Because that's been like the last manager. That's what did for him. He couldn't get the two strikers in the team. How has your manager done that?
Well, I think he's done that because I mean, if you look at Aubameyang, sorry,
How has he done it?
Well, he's picked him, hasn't he?
He managed to get both of them in the side. They were saying that they can't play together.
No. They were playing together with the manager before Arteta. Yeah. And, if it's a 4-4-2, Lacazette's going to be up front, but then he's going to drop into midfield. So, and he's better at holding the ball up than Aubameyang. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's a good pairing. They like each other. They play well together. We got Saka.
They're French brothers together,
Yes. So I think it's a good fit. And I think, hopefully they turn up tomorrow. A stat that I've just seen recently is that Aubameyang has not had one shot on target against Liverpool. Can you believe that?
Well, he had a shot against Liverpool in the Charity Shield. He slotted one right down the sides, man. That was
we're talking about the Premier League, mate. It's a different ball game.
Well, listen, to be fair, I'd like to see Kolasinac play. I'd like to see Callum Chambers play. I'd like to see your German goalkeeper come back. These are the signings that I prefer to see in an Arsenal team. I hope they come.
Yeah, because you want to win, don't you?
Yes. And I want to see
Cedric. We'd like to see Cedric playing tomorrow as well.
Cedric Suarez. His name is Suarez. Cedric. Is it Suarez or Suarez? Can't remember. But anyway, these are the guys. Is Thomas Partey going to be playing tomorrow?
I think he will. I think he'll pick him. Nathan Lyles, he had a good game last game. And he did well in that holding midfield role. You know what I'm saying? But if Partey's fit, I will play him. Definitely, without a question. He's our best midfield player.
I want to see Granit Xhaka on the pitch as well. These are the
players. Well, hopefully he's not recovered from injury yet. Yeah. I think he's back in training.
Yeah, just get him in the team. Get him a little run out for 60 minutes. You know what I mean?
So who's fit for you? Who's fit for you then? I heard you got a lot of injuries, Robbo.
No, I think our biggest problem immediate problem is Henderson.
And what about Mane?
No, Mane's fit, and he loves Arsenal.
So you're gonna probably play Jota up front then.
He could play Jota, or he can go with Divock Origi could start. Divock scores lots of goals against Arsenal. Every time we seem to play Arsenal in cup games, he bangs goals against Arsenal, so he's confident. But I think he plays Jota. I think he plays Mane. I think he plays Salah. And all these people that thinking that Salah's dip is it's not going to last forever. He'll be scoring.
No, man, he's quality, that guy, man. He's your best player. And, he's always a threat.
And I think in the midfield, Fabinho comes in, straight back in, the monster that is, to counter Thomas Partey. I think
Firmino, I think he's injured, Robert.
Fabinho's.
Oh, Fabinho. Oh, yes. Sorry,
Thomas Partey, I think the jury was out on Thomas Partey, but in a few games that you lot really looked well, it's all been because of the fullbacks and Partey. It's really made a massive difference for Arsenal, and of course the goalkeeper.
Why do you say that Tierney shouldn't come back in?
Because the other dude is doing really well. The Portuguese guy they got in there.
Yeah, but Tierney's a quality player, man.
Yes, but so is this kid that's come in. He's come in and he's put down markers.
No, Ernie, he's got to sit on the bench. I mean, he's had a couple of games for Scotland, and they were tough games. They had to play Denmark and I can't remember who the other team was. But this guy is 6'2", Ernie. He's quick, and playing against Salah, we need somebody like that.
Is it the dude there, the Japanese guy? Tomiyasu.
No, he's on the other side, isn't he? He's on the other side. He's right back. The left back will be facing Salah.
Well, let's see how well he does. It will be a good test. At least you all know how good he is, because
Robert, what do you think, bruv?
Well, I'll tell you what. Thomas Partey is a player that I like. I think United should have got him before he went to Arsenal. We ended up getting Van der Beek. We didn't need Van der Beek. We needed Thomas Partey, a proper defensive midfield player that goes box to box. I think what happened is that Arsenal missed him because he got injured. Yeah, but he is definitely a key player for you guys. I think the problem that I see, the danger man I see for Liverpool is Trent Alexander. I don't know how they're going to deal with Trent Alexander. Arsenal will deal with Trent Alexander putting balls into your box, because that man has moved up levels.
Ernie reckons he's not world class.
He is.
Partey.
No,
Trent.
I love Trent Alexander.
Not yet. He's got a little way to go yet. He is, man.
He's
good, but he's got... All right, so who would you say is better out of Trent and the you at Chelsea?
No, but you're not playing Chelsea. You're playing Liverpool.
Huh? Trent.
We're not playing Chelsea.
Reece James, who's just turned up this season.
Reece James is good, and I could see why England picked him ahead of Trent last season, because Liverpool weren't playing well as a team last season. And tell you the truth, I did say this to you, Robbo, was that after the back of them winning the Premier League the first season, the team was tired. That's what it was more than anything else. Yeah, you lost defenders.
But we lost the whole back line, bro.
But at the same time, the way you guys play, you're pressing and running all the time.
Yeah, but Man City press and run.
Yes,
Chelsea
but
press and run. I don't think you can say...
Hear me out. When those guys do those sort of games and play like that, you always find that the following season they dip. They don't do it back to back. They always dip the following season. That's why
Man City don't exactly dip when they went back to back.
Yeah. But when you find City win and then they dip, that's why you bring in fresh players.
Won back to back, you know.
Once they won it back to back, but everyone expected to do it every season, but they don't, because they win it one season and then they'll dip the following season.
So Rob,
do
you think, the Manchester United question quickly? Do you think that Van der Beek has been treated fairly at Old Trafford?
Robert.
Or me?
Yeah.
It's a Man
Do you
United
think
question.
that
I ain't got nothing to do with that
This
one.
is a question for Ernie and Robert.
Okay, all right. My thing on Van der Beek, I don't think Van der Beek wasn't a Schalke signing. It was a Woodward signing. What happened was we were after Sancho that season. We should have just give up on Sancho, but we was after him. We didn't get him. And what happened was before the transfer window closed, all of a sudden Van der Beek was purchased. We needed a defensive midfield player. Van der Beek came in, and the position he plays is either in Pogba's position or Fernandes' position. And he's not going to get in ahead of those two. Okay. So that's why he hasn't been played. Now, everyone's screaming for him to come and play, get out Fred. He's not a defensive midfield player. We need a defensive midfield. What we needed was Partey. That's what we needed. Someone like that in that mold. We didn't need a Van der Beek. And that's why Van der Beek has been struggling to get games. Now,
Go on. Yeah, go on. Go on, Rob. Sorry, go on.
So what's happened now is that this season he's been promised game time. But this is where United's got problem. Because the defence has been so bad and they're playing three at the back, they're having, and Ronaldo arrived, they're having trouble playing all of these wingers that they have.
Because I just think, I look at the situation, and McTominay and Fred, obviously, you know, they're kind of like holding midfield players, but they're just not doing it. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. And I just think that the guy has been treated unfairly and not being given the opportunity, because he can't do no worse than McTominay and Fred in there, even if he's not a holding midfield player, because they're still losing. So I
don't think that Van der Beek is up to Premiership standard. I don't think he's up to Premiership standard. I think he probably needs another season before he bulks up and gets in tune to the Premiership, because let's face it, playing against in Holland for Ajax, you know, it's a walk in the park. All of a sudden he's come to Old Trafford. They've had a look at him and they probably said he's not really.
Other players have come from
really
Ajax,
what?
Ernie, and other players have come from Ajax and done well.
Yeah,
like who?
Luis Suarez.
No, I'm talking about United. United.
Well, he's your only player that you
where did what's his name come from Holland?
De Ligt was there.
No, what's his name?
Bling.
No, Blink. He weren't bad, but even when he first come, he was struggling a little bit. What's the winger? The winger that we got, Rob and
Depay. Memphis
Depay.
Memphis
Depay.
Yeah.
He wasn't from Ajax.
No, but he come from Holland. He came from Holland. Same thing.
Well,
couldn't live up to it.
Listen. It's not because I don't think it's because he come from Holland. I just think that players that come from the Bundesliga has struggled in the Premier League. We've had so many players come from Italy, struggled in British football. Germany struggled. The only country that seems to produce players, and we it's probably the poorest league, is the French league. Most of their most exciting talent has come from the French league, and they've all done well. So I don't think it's just. I don't think it's a Holland thing.
The Spanish league they can do it as well. But let's get back to what you said about Van der Beek. If Van der Beek had come and we didn't have Pogba, he would have been playing, because that position he would have slotted into. But you're trying to. But what it is, he's not going to get in the team ahead of Pogba. He's not going to get in ahead of Fernandes. So the only other positions he can get into are the defensive midfield, the holding positions, and he's not that sort of player. That's not where he plays. Okay. So you're trying to fit him in there. And we've given him an opportunity to go there when we played against West Ham. And if you saw when we played against West Ham, how we lost the goal was because he lost the player in midfield.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Man United is winning tomorrow, says singer Zion.
So it's difficult. It's difficult there. I can understand why he's not got game time. But what happened is everyone is blaming Ollie for it, whereas I don't think it was Ollie's choice of players to buy. It was Woodward's.
Yeah.
Because
it's like, if you look at it, you know, I mean, I look at him and I'm thinking, well, it's like, and I'm seeing Sancho look like he's falling into the same kind of situation.
No,
where he's come.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, Rob.
Go on. I'll tell you what happened. The press is largely responsible for a lot of the media hype on that. We played like they were saying that Sancho had no game time. We played about 14 games, right? Sancho started 6 and was sub for 5. But what's happened is because we're conceding so many goals, we've had to go 3 at the back. When you go 3 at the back, that means you're going to lose your wingers.
We're not any.
And that's what's happened. Because we're playing 3 at the back now, what happens is you got to play with your wing backs. So that leaves you with just 2 players up front. So it's going to be Cavani and Rashford. So so Cavani and Ronaldo. Yeah, so not even Rashford can get a look in. So you got now Sancho, Rashford, Martial, yeah, and who else? And Greenwood. 4 players, right, that you're thinking, well, how am I going to fit these players in if I play 3 at the back? And so that's what's happened with the team right now, and that's purely because of our poor defensive record and having to play 3 at the back.
Hey, listen, I'm glad the show has turned into the Fix Manchester United show. Ernie, I told you.
I'm just happy.
It just makes good coverage. So you got a big game tomorrow. People, if you're agreeing with the Robert White, he's ill. He sounds like he's still ill. But if you agree with Robert, please drop your comments in the box, man. And the great Tipper people are mentioning that you are the most unbiased Arsenal fan ever. I can't believe that.
Well, there you go.
I know you think you're going to win. I know you're feeling.
I'm a realist, man. I live in the real world, especially when it comes to football. And I know how good Liverpool are at Anfield. Yeah. If it was at the Emirates, we might have a glimmer of a hope. But at Anfield with the supporters in there, the 12th man, as you call it, I think it's going to be very difficult for us. But you never know. It's football.
Well, remember, Chip, you remember when you had to go there to win the Premiership with Mikey Thomas and that, and everybody.
80. Was that 80? Was that 89?
9. Yeah, 89. And they gave no chance at all.
I was watching a podcast with Kevin. Yes, I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday, and he was telling all the stories about that when they had to go and beat Liverpool 2-0.
Hey, did it tell you
2-0 and 1-0?
Did it also tell you the story that Liverpool had to play 2 extra games in that? I think it was 2 games in 1 week before that game, and we were puffed by the time we come to that game.
Well, I was so happy you was, bruv, because we won the league.
All right, see, I knew the biases would come. Shouts going to Patrick Tappins. Big shouts going to Inspired.
I have no sympathy for you. Robert, he sounds like he's looking sympathy, innit?
No. I ain't looking no sympathy. I'm just looking for my guns. Because I'm telling you, we are winning on Saturday.
Yeah, all right, then.
It'll be fixed.
You said, we will see. Let's have a conversation after the 90 minutes, mate.
Oh, yeah, we can have a conversation. We have another Arsenal fan in the house. One of the great promoters of reggae dancehall. He goes by the name of DJ Zach. No laughter for you today, DJ Zach. We got no laughter for you today. We're doing it nice and calm. You've heard what Tipper had to say. Tipper Irie is confident. Are you confident, bro?
Yeah. I'm confident. Well, saying Tipper is confident.
Turn your mic up,
a bit
bro.
on the fence.
Go on.
Turn your mic up. No.
We can't hear you. You're doing the same thing you did last time.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, bro.
That's better.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I was saying, you said here's another confident fan like Tipper Irie, but Tipper's a bit on the fence because he's a realist, as he said. So he's a bit on the fence. As you know, I'm a super fan. I'm win, lose or draw. I'm going in saying we're going to win. We're going to kick your face off.
Actually, I think you should save that chat for Robbie. You're on the wrong channel. That kick your face off talk. That kick your face off talk only works with Crucial Robbie. It don't work over here. How do you? All right. How?
How do I think it's going to happen?
Yeah.
Where's your winning? Where's your winning point gonna be?
Look, Tipper's going to make.
This is how it's going to happen.
Already.
You got Saka, and you got Smith Rowe coming off the back of a very confident 2 weeks, and they're going to bring that into the Premiership.
Oh, of the England game.
Yes.
Come on. They only play. Who did they play? San
You played
Marino
San
and
Marino,
Albania.
bro.
Yeah.
England could only play. Yes, they could only play who they put in front of them. But the players that played for England built their just like the other guy down the road that I don't like, Harry Kane. That's also built his confidence to go back in the Premiership. Because let's face it, he hadn't had a shot on target all season in the Premiership. It's
go on, Tip.
Nice Ernie, I think.
Oh,
yeah, I still don't think that playing people like San Marino, and Albania is really...
it's a confidence building. I'm not saying that they got carried away with it. It's a confidence building, isn't it?
I reckon you're saying they got carried away with it.
Yeah.
No.
No, he's right.
I'm saying
Smith Rowe, I can give you that because he's been playing well. Smith Rowe's been playing well. He's been scoring. Whether he had played against San Marino and Albania, I would give you that. Saka's gone a little bit off of the boil. He got a kick the other day and he went a little bit off of the boil. Sugar strain. We don't know the business about sugar strain.
Well, Saka's got to he's just got to, get better on his finishing. He's going to be, he's going to be, the life of our team for many years to come. Him and Smith Rowe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what
the life of you said, Man City's team? Did you say Man City's team?
No, our team.
Oh, yeah, but your best players usually end up at City. You're their feeder club.
Oh, God. What's wrong with these guys? Hey, Robert, how you put up with these guys for so long, bro?
Yeah, but Robert knows that it's true.
Robert thinks he's Denzel Washington, right? Robert thinks he's Denzel Washington. Ernie's freaking agony on.
Actually, I think I'm Ding Dong.
You know what I mean? He thinks
I'll be like Ding Dong tomorrow.
He's always having a little dig at me, but listen, bro, I've never had a problem with women, mate. All right. Just let me put that out there for you. But anyway, listen, Smith Rowe and Xhaka, I'm praying to God that they do the job tomorrow, man. Because I would love to see. I just want to be a fly on the wall tomorrow in Robbo's house. If we turn them over,
I'll call you tomorrow, Tip. But listen, Tipper, it's a big ask. That's my listen. I think I'm a Saka fan. I've watched Saka and I've heard talks now that Gallagher's the best midfielder, English midfielder, Mason Mount. And listen, they're playing good, but I don't think no one's in Saka's class as an attacking midfielder right now in the Premiership. It might not be the flavour of the month because of obviously the England situation coming back from the England game, but Saka is undoubtedly the most talented young player.
I thought Gallagher was Scottish.
No, you was drinking something. So
Zach.
Yeah.
What we gonna do with Pepe? What we gonna do with Pepe, man? I don't want to hear nothing from Robbo. And I don't want to hear nothing from Ernie.
Make it quick, Zach.
Robert can speak, but Zach, quick. I know we ain't got much time. What we gonna do with Pepe?
Yeah, this Arsenal loving.
Right. So, with the Pepe situation, it's not happening for him in the Premier League.
Okay.
And to think that he's Arsenal's biggest buy, and it's just not happening for him. It's not happening for him. And the less game time he gets is the worse it gets. So I think summer, ship him out to Newcastle.
Okay. Do you think it's the system that Arteta played that has been his downfall?
No.
Well, no, because Arteta's playing attacking football, and that's what Pepe used to play. So I don't know what's going on.
Well,
I
I think
honestly
because,
don't know what's going on.
I mean, I don't know how long we got left, but I mean, we're playing out from the back.
Yeah.
We're playing out from the back, and I just don't think the way Arteta plays out from the back suits him. You know, he coming from the league where he's coming from, and the team that he was playing for, it was more of I mean, I don't know if Arteta's even playing that kind of attacking football. He's building up from the back. It's slow. You know,
it's slow.
Your guys that you have on your sides, which is Smith Rowe and Saka, them man there will help out the defense, and the man them is rapid with the ball. You know, it's both of those two players. I'm not saying that Pepe can't. They both can run with the ball. They run with the ball, and they got an end pass. And if you look at those two, you're looking at Pepe, and you want Pepe to play in that kind of mold. Yeah. Like you help out the defense. If you lot play the 4 at the back, when you don't employ the 4 at the back, when you play 5 at the back and then you go to 4 at the back, you want your 2 guys on the outside to go back and go forward. And I don't think Pepe's brilliant at going back. He's good at going forward, but when you don't have the ball, what does Pepe do? If you don't have the ball, Saka, Smith Rowe, they're involved in the game, bro. They make sure they're involved in the game. So I think that's the only, to me, as a Liverpool fan watching Arsenal, I think that's the only criticism I have.
For me, I just think that when Pepe, he's got the defender one-on-one, he don't go for the defender.
That's confidence.
He'll hold up the play.
That's confidence, though, Tip. If he's confident,
he'll hold up and stop and pass it back, and it kind of like, you know, there's so much times I've seen him, and he's one-on-one. Huh?
That's confidence, though, Tip. If he's confident, he will start taking on players. But he's not confident because he's not sure of his position in the squad. So I think that's something that's got to build.
But do you think Arteta, Zach, do you think Arteta's managed him correctly, bro?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Because he's not getting the best out of him.
No. I just think that he's ruining... I don't know. I would like to be I'd like to be a fly on the wall, because if you look at what's the midfielder that went to Marseille?
The Arsenal midfielder.
Yeah, Arsenal. Is it Gnabry? No, not Gnabry.
No.
The one with the fuzzy hair again. Sorry, his name.
Guendouzi.
Guendouzi, yeah. You know,
yes, Guendouzi, that's it.
Guys, all these guys.
He's not pulling up trees though, Guendouzi. He's doing all right. He's not pulling up trees.
But so is the defender. He's pulling up trees, though, isn't he?
Which one?
Saliba.
Where is he? Where is he?
He's in Marseille. They're playing together.
Yeah, but you got better defense now. Your defense is what you've built your solid
little run on.
It's your
I'm telling you now, Saliba can walk into that team and he'd be doing just as well as Gabriel and
I don't think he gets in front of Gabriel and Ben White at this present time.
Well, Gabriel and Ben White partnership is going on good at the moment.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with that.
They're reading each other, yeah.
But I think Saliba should have been given an opportunity to stay at the club and given a chance to see what he can do. I think he can do it in the Premiership. But I think we'll find out. He's gonna come back, so we'll see.
Okay, Michael Williams texted and said, "What? No Watford chat tonight." Of course, we're going to chat Watford. Let's go straight into Manchester United, Watford. It's a big game for Ole. It's his first game back after his holiday. Where did he go? Skiing? Was it skiing earlier?
No, he went home.
Sliding.
He went back to Norway. He went back to Norway.
Oh, he went back to Norway.
Chill.
So he's probably went to
reassess
chill.
reassess what's going on.
Back, and you guys are up against Watford. Watford are. I mean, it looked like they slowed the rot, and Ranieri had them playing a couple of games, and then it's just gone back to being old Watford. So, Michael Williams, I don't know what you're expecting, but I think, Ernie, are you expecting a win?
Yep. We usually struggle at Watford, but we managed to win. And I don't really see much difference tomorrow. I think it'll be tight. But I think we're gonna win that. I think we'll run out 2-0 winners over there.
Do you think your midfield, which is obviously the the show, the Fred and McTominay show?
Listen, everybody talks about Fred and McTominay. Last season, Fred was one of our best players.
Can I ask the question? Does the Fred and McTominay roadshow continue with Luke Shaw at the left and Wan-Bissaka at the right, Slabhead and whoever in the midfield? Does that continue?
If it was me personally, Slabhead would go. I would put Bailey in there, Bailly in there. Right? The only thing with Bailly, he's prone to making mistakes, as we saw against Man City. But, even when I look back on that cross shouldn't have got in. Wan-Bissaka was slow to close down that cross that Bailly scored the own goal from. But I would be more confident with Bailly back there. He's quicker than Maguire. And he's tougher than Man.
So you're saying that Ole should put Maguire after his heroics for England over the last week. He shouldn't be in the squad against Watford.
He should be on the bench. Like Roy Keane got it correct when he said that he was an embarrassment when he scored the goal and put his hands to his ears like that, as if silently. Roy Keane went ballistic, and I agree with him.
You thought that was
100%.
Distasteful, him putting his hands to his ears and saying, "What you saying now, boys?"
Yeah.
What you saying? What you saying?
After he scored against Albania. Come on, bro.
So
it wasn't like it was France, right?
No.
So
or
he's saying,
Italy or something like that.
Baye, you take Eric Baye or Phil Jones ahead of him.
No, not Phil Jones. Baye, not Phil Jones. Phil Jones will pop down, mate.
So let me ask you something. Does Luke Shaw start, or does is it Dilot, or is it
No, I think Luke Shaw starts. I think Luke Shaw starts. Definitely, Luke Shaw starts.
So effectively, what you're saying, Robert, clear this up for us, because Ernie's only after Maguire today. Does the Ole Roadshow continue with the same squad, same formation against little old Watford?
It's going to continue with the same formation. Yeah, against Watford.
Wow.
It will continue. The problem.
Ernie, wow.
The problem, right, is that United shouldn't even be in this position arguing if they're going to turn up to do a performance against Watford. We should be beating Watford.
I reckon you beat them, but I'm just.
So Rob.
Yeah.
Rob, where do you need strengthening in your team?
Defensive midfield and centre half.
Manager.
This is what the problem's always been. Everyone's going on about the aerobics of Maguire in the England shirt. Look,
wonderful player.
We don't need Maguire scoring goals. We need him defending.
Yeah.
He can score for England score like here, but if he can't defend, then that's what my problem is. Yeah. So we don't care about the fact he scored goals. That's meaningless to us. The problem is that he's been responsible. Well, put it this way: he's captain, and he's not a leader. He cannot lead our defense. We need a captain that can lead our back line. Yeah. He's never done that.
No,
Rob, but like what Zach said. Zach is a beloved England fan also. If he brings the form what he against Albania and San Marino, that should be something that helps.
All due respect, Watford should be tearing apart San Marino.
What form against his England form? Come on.
What form? What form?
His international form.
He scored one goal. And you weren't playing with nobody.
I think Robert just
beat what you put in front of him
right now. So let's move on with it, right? Because the truth is that regarding our defense, it's a problem. We need a leader in that defense. Maguire's not a leader. He needs to be led. He needs someone there that can command him and lead him.
Lead him out the club.
No, to lead him in there. So I reckon he could do a decent game alongside someone that can lead him. But at the moment,
because
He's not leading that time.
I mean, Rob. So the midfield players at Man United, you got Fred, McTominay, Pogba, and the other guy from Portugal. Is there anybody else at United that can play a holding midfield role?
Nah.
No.
I'll tell you what happened, right? When we brought Fred is an attacking midfielder that we got in. And I'll tell you how Fred ended up in that position. How Fred ended up in that position was that Woodward allowed Herrera's contract to run down, and he went on a free to PSG.
Yeah, and he could.
And rather than getting another defensive midfield player, they moved Fred there.
Fred in there.
Okay.
And so what Fred is doing, it's like you're trying to fit someone in a position, and you're not playing him to the best of his ability.
What is Fred as a player? Is he a number 8 or a number 6?
He's more of an attacking midfield player, like a number 8.
Yeah.
If you see Fred for Brazil,
I saw him attacking for Brazil, man. I
But
should have
that's
brought
what he
that
plays.
clip. It's awful.
but that's where he plays. That's the position he plays. That's when we
Would you
brought
say
him.
it was awful for Brazil, Robbo?
Yeah. There was an attacking play. You must have seen it on social media. Zach, you must have seen that one where they was just doing the backflips and the flips and everybody was touching the ball. Back. Boy, Neymar just saying your time and backheeled it to Fred. Man, the ball just went.
Yeah, but
and the whole team just looked at him and went like that.
Listen.
Fred Lux.
Whenever a player is having a bad time and the media's after him, they're going to look for the worst clips.
Worst clip.
Ernie's after him. Hey, don't forget his media. Ernie's after him.
No, I'm not
He's
after
Maguire.
I'm not after Fred.
You're after Fred Lux,
to
man.
me, last season, Fred was amongst our best players.
What about McTominay? Are you after McTominay, Ernie?
No, I think McTominay's got the potential to be a huge player.
Well, is it? Should he sit in the middle? And you're happy with that formation against Watford? You're happy with?
At this point in time, because as we say, no better, no there.
Okay.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Okay. Patois. He's gone. You got Patois. You got Patois.
Listen, Robbo. You know, a few seasons ago when you couldn't win the Premier League
Yes.
with the
You
centre
finished
half,
second.
your
Behind
centre
a couple of
half
league-
you had, right?
Is it a couple of years ago? Because we lost it by 1 point. Next.
All right. Remember before you went and got Van Dijk?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
So you remember what your defence was like?
Yeah, when you
And
never
you
won.
Yes, I remember.
Years.
And I think before we got Van Dijk, we finished above you.
Right. But I'm just trying to point
Once.
out something.
Okay.
Yeah?
Once.
Right. But let's look at the fact that you were losing games because you could not rely on your defender, on your centre half.
True.
You know you needed a centre half. And you went out and fixed that problem.
Easy digi vibes. True.
And you knew you had a problem with your goalkeeper when you lost the Champions League.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
You
We
went
had
out
problems before the Champions League. Minilay was a problem.
But even so, you went out and fixed that problem.
How do you fix an £80 million problem?
But this is what I'm saying to you. United have that problem and no one's going out and fixing it. And we've been identifying that problem for seasons.
But
for a few seasons
it's the
now.
same. But it's the same thing. What as Zach alluded to, you've got a £75 million winger. You can't just go out and fix it. The manager's got to get it right because it costs the club a lot of money.
Yeah. But
No, because
it's because there's a problem with the winger. What it is there's a problem with our defence. Why that winger can't play?
well, you see, Klopp went out and he identified the problems what Liverpool had, and he fixed them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but most managers would do that. That's their job.
No, but
You're
they ain't
managing.
doing it, Robbo. They ain't doing it.
But Tipper.
Klopp recognised what Liverpool needed, and he went
All right.
and he got the players what Liverpool needed. That's why they won the Premier League.
All right, Tipper.
Exactly.
Tipper and Zach. You're managing a nightclub.
Yeah.
You have a problem that people keep pushing past your doorman.
You replace
fix
the
it.
doorman.
Right. You have a problem that money goes missing because one of Zach's friends behind the till. You got somebody honest behind the till. You realize that you're not selling enough drinks because people are coming in asking for Ciroc, but your bar's full of brandy. So a manager manages. So you see those problems as a manager. You're in the highest. You can look down at the problem. So it's beyond me why Robert is going to say we need to fix it and they're not fixing it. That means Man United are happy with the situation.
So you think it's the manager that is the problem at Man U? Nothing
Yeah,
else.
Yeah. I think the manager is making mistakes because he's placing his trust in players, and they're making mistakes again and again, and they're not fixing that problem.
Because Robert, you guys,
that's what's going to cost him his job.
when I look at Man United, when you look at Man United's players pound for pound, bruv, that's a world-class team. I'm not being funny.
That's a
but
team.
If you look at Ronaldo, Cavani, Rashford, Sancho.
No. That's a team of world-class players, not a world-class team.
Oh, well, okay. I stand corrected.
Well, listen, last season, you guys, you beat them last season 2-0, 3-0. When they were in the Premiership in March 2019, they beat you 2-0 at Vicarage Road. So, and there's been some results, but you usually generally do well against them.
That's what I was saying. We'll emerge tomorrow 2-0 winners tomorrow.
Okay, all right. So
the thing for me, right, is that United have to now prove they can keep a clean sheet. That's the problem that they're having, keeping a clean sheet. That's why I'm not interested in Maguire scoring goals. I'm interested in him keeping clean sheets.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that the Watford that played against Everton turns up.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking for.
And we get a similar scoreline.
Josh King would have to be on his game again, and I think the guy Emmanuel Dennis is somebody you got to watch out for. Dennis, he's in me have a little fantasy, but I'm not lie. He might go on good in the fantasy league. So
they got the guy in midfield as well, and they got quite that guy in midfield. What's his name?
The left winger.
Is it a winger or a defense or in midfield? In the centre mid.
Ooh, Danny Rose.
No. The danger man I find for him is Sarr, but he's playing forward.
That's it, Sarr.
Yeah. He's a good boy.
Top, and he doesn't have the bulk for that straight up front position. So
he's a good player though, Robbo. He's a good player.
He plays with him and Mane play together for Senegal, and they're cruising right now. But he doesn't have that. He's not the out ball for Watford, so they will always struggle, as you know, once they don't have the out ball. But they got Josh King in, and he's kind of done well for them when he's come in. But I see them getting nothing against Man United tomorrow, definitely. Right. So let's set some quick fire round the table. Let's have some quick fire predictions. First game tomorrow, 12:30. Could be a tricky game. I for one don't believe that Chelsea keep this form up, but if they prove that they can keep the form up against Leicester, who, as someone said earlier on, are a bit indifferent. So Leicester versus Chelsea, 12:30. Starting with you, Ernie, what do you reckon the score's going to be?
Draw. I reckon that is a nailed-on draw. Both teams in reasonably good form. Leicester coming into form. Since they beat United 4-2, I don't think they've lost.
No, they lost against us. Don't be cheap. Don't be feisty.
That was before. Wasn't that before?
No, it was after. Didn't we beat them, Zach?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you beat them 2-0 in it. You beat them 2-0 at their place. Yeah, you beat them 2. I still think they've got enough about them to at least draw with Chelsea. I don't see Chelsea going there and winning.
Okay.
Yeah, 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw.
All right.
I reckon it's a draw as well, but I'll go for 1-1.
1-1 draw.
I
think. Sorry, Rob. Go on.
No. Go ahead.
I think it'll be 2-1 Chelsea.
You reckon Chelsea nick it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just think they'll have a bit too much. I think Vardy will score, but I think Chelsea will have a bit too much for him.
And I was going to say exactly the same score, 2-1 Chelsea.
I reckon I'll go reverse. I think Leicester wins.
What scoreline?
I think Leicester wins 2-1. I think they're going to turn the corner, Leicester, and they usually do it around now.
No, yeah, and then blow up at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. I think they turn the corner. I think all this Brendan Rodgers talk to Man United.
Nah.
came in and out, and I think they settled down, and they possibly get a win against Chelsea, and I would like to see that. All right, next game, Norwich Southampton. No explanations. Ernie, what's the score? Norwich Southampton. All we know that the Farker got fucked.
Yeah, won his first game and lost, and got sacked. Dean Smith,
he might get fucked because he did against Southampton the week before.
Yeah. I think this is a draw. This looks like a draw to me as well. You know, there's going to be a lot of razzmatazz down at Norwich with Dean Smith coming in and Southampton's form's been a bit indifferent lately. They don't seem to be scoring as freely as they were last season. I think that's a draw. I think that's a 1-1.
Robert, what do you reckon?
No, I think Southampton's going to take it.
Yeah, me too.
Southampton.
You reckon Southampton?
Yeah.
Same, man. I think Southampton will probably win about 2 or 3-0. I'll go 3-0 Southampton.
I think the same. I think Norwich are slipping and sliding, and that's the end of that. I don't think Dean Smith.
Southampton look good. They look good the other day, man. Last game I saw them. They look all right. There's a guy that
plays at Southampton that used to play, or a Chelsea player called Livramento. Watch this youth play. He's a fullback.
Who's he play for?
For Southampton.
Livramento. Yes.
Livramento.
Yeah, he plays like a fullback winger, isn't he?
Yeah, fullback winger. Very good player. Wolves versus West Ham. Can the mighty Wolves stop West Ham from easily becoming the second best team in London? Is it going to happen tomorrow at 3 p.m. Wolves versus West Ham?
I think West Ham will win easily 2-0.
What?
Yes.
Ernie. What?
Yeah, I think West Ham will win. I'm not sure about 2-0. I think Wolves score. I can see a 2-1 West Ham because that shot that my man scored that goal with.
Yeah, but that private jet they flew him home in never looked too spacious enough, Antonio.
It wasn't a private jet. It was
it was a private jet.
What?
It was a private jet.
Yeah, but it wasn't a proper private jet.
Zach, was that not a private jet? You know private jets. Zach, was that not a private jet that the Sullivans flew him home in from Jamaica?
Proper one.
It was a private jet, Ernie. He even posted on his Instagram page and says, "Thank you to the Sullivan for sending me on a private jet, £100,000 for that flight, or for the whole service."
But was this? Yeah, but wasn't it? It weren't like what they would have thrown Grealish or the midfield player back in.
Yeah, you like talk about Grealish. Leave Grealish alone. So anyway, I don't think Watford. I think the run stops with Watford. I think they may get a draw. I think it'll be a draw. That's my thing.
Well, no. I don't agree. West Ham should be wiping the floor with them.
With Wolves? No.
They're gonna hammer them. That's the way I look at it. They're gonna hammer them.
Yeah, of course. West Ham's gonna win that, of course.
Yeah. Well,
Uncle Giff. Well, I go on, Giff. I'm not dreaming.
Let's look at West Ham's last 4 games. They won all of them. The last 4 games. Everton.
But what?
Tottenham, Villa, Liverpool. They won all 4.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Liverpool went into the game against Leicester winning like 10 games or on a bounce. It doesn't mean you're going to carry on. Why do you think it's going to carry on? Why do you think the fun's going to carry on? Do you know that Declan Rice is not playing? The fun stops, mate.
Is he not playing?
No.
They still come on. They're still putting a performance.
All right. Okay. All right.
I reckon it's going to be a West Ham win.
Okay, so the last game, do we get score prediction? Arsenal and Liverpool. Somebody dropped a score prediction. Let's see what that person says. Are you ready, guys? Easy, Devon. It says Liverpool.
Jesus Christ!
5-0.
What a wicked Devon. You need for immigrate.
And Master Blaster says,
I'm going to screenshot it. I'm going to screenshot it.
All right, listen, Robert. Remember this. Remember this conversation loud and clear. Daddy Ernie.
Yo.
Remember this conversation. Zach. Remember this conversation. Remember Robert saying, "I'm gonna call me after the result." I'm going for an Arsenal win. 3-1.
Yes.
Tipper changed his mind. When I spoke to Tipper early on today, he never had no hope.
I'm going for Arsenal. I'm a gooner, mate. I'm going for an Arsenal.
Hey.
3-1.
Gonna kick their teeth out.
Zach, make him go on, man.
It's not gonna happen. Zach, what do you reckon the score is gonna be, bro?
Honestly, 2-1.
Okay. Robert, did you have?
I'm hoping 3-1, but I think 2-1.
Master Blaster said, "Yo, Devon Lindsay, say no to drugs." Don't do it.
End it though. End it though. Right.
What's Robert saying?
I'm saying it's 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
Why did you speak
about Aston Villa? Brighton.
Excuse me.
You left you forget about your sweetheart Gerard.
Excuse me. You forgot.
I noticed you don't want to talk about Brighton lately, Robbo.
No, excuse me. Excuse me. Can I put my hands up? I didn't have my score prediction.
He's scoring.
You like the lights float over my score prediction. It's very simple.
It's not important, mate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, don't matter.
It will be important because it will be 3 points collected against the Arsenal. As usual, game's going to be 3-0.
3-0?
Yeah. What do you think the score's going to be, Robbo?
3-0.
3-0.
3-0 Liverpool.
All right, Villa. What's going on with Villa?
No, I'm not betting, man. I'm not a betting man. I only bet when I know I'm going to win. Work that one out. Anyway, as we're saying, one more game. A couple more games, haven't we? Let's talk about the game on. Have we missed out a game? Crystal Palace Burnley, Aston Villa, Brighton. Quickly.
Brentford Newcastle.
Do we have to, Ernie?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's go to Aston Villa Brighton. Aston Villa Brighton.
I think
Aston.
Go on.
Brighton.
What?
Gerrard loses in his first game.
Possible. I reckon so as well.
Yeah.
I don't know the score.
That would be a good game, actually.
Brighton is in good form. Brighton, West Ham, Arsenal are all in good form. So
I think that will be a draw, Robbo.
Okay. Robert.
I think it's a Brighton win.
Zach.
That's a good game. I'm going to go for Villa.
What? Gerrard first win. What about the Burnley Crystal Palace?
Oh, no. Zach? Crystal Palace all day long, mate. 3-1.
Against Burnley. What drawed against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge the other day.
They got lucky against Chelsea. Come on.
That weren't luck. That goal weren't luck. They pressed for that goal, man.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, Chelsea should have won that game, really.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's like the Brighton Liverpool. We should have won the game and they turned the game around.
I can't see Palace losing. Palace is on a little roll right now. What's his name's got them playing well. Vieira's got them playing well.
So you reckon Crystal Palace?
Yeah. That Gallagher that Crystal Palace got is a Chelsea Gallagher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is he Scottish?
No.
No, he's English. He was playing for England the other day, wasn't he?
He's England, but Gallagher's an Irish name, so he's probably got Irish roots as well. He probably could play for both.
What do you reckon about the game on? Let's just go straight to, because I see Richard Smith in the house. Tottenham versus Leeds. Richard, what's your score prediction? I know you say Palace all day. Can you tell me how it goes for Leeds United, who are close to propping up the table? Richard Smith, drop your comments. Master Blaster says, Liverpool collecting 3 points tomorrow. I agree with you. So, Tottenham, Leeds, Arsenal guys, start. Tipper Irie.
Well, you know I can't stand Spurs, so I'm going for a Leeds 1-0 to Leeds.
Zach.
Well, be honest with you, Spurs had a game about 6 months, and Harry Kane was. So I'm going 2-0 to Leeds.
2-0 to Leeds. Ernie and Robert.
Nah, I think Tottenham will win that. I think Tottenham will win it 2-1.
I reckon this is Conte's first match. I don't think Conte's going to be losing his first match.
First match. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see this as a Spurs win. Whether it's a 1-0 or a 2-0, it's going to be a Spurs win.
Well, I think there's a surprise in this game, and I think Leeds get a draw at Tottenham.
Sure.
I think Conte's going to be busy trying to shuffle up the pack, and I think Leeds' manager is going to smell that and know that he's just going to put out his block of players. And you know what he does? He just gets those players to just man mark, follow people around the park, make it difficult. And while Conte's trying to work it out. But that's what I think. I don't think Leeds win 2-1. Richard Smith having a laugh. I think it'll be a draw.
But Leeds has been on a bad run. How many, the last, 4 games?
But they've had a lot of injury. They've had a lot of injuries though as well, Robert.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. They've only won
Man City. Sorry, Man City Everton. I think we all know what's going to happen there. 2:00 on Sunday.
Man City.
Man City for me, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we got. You guys just having a laugh. Who is this? You guys having a laugh. Tottenham all day. Stop counting when it's 4-0. You ain't beating Leeds 4-0. Not happening.
Oh,
Patrick, you're dreaming, mate.
Yeah, Patrick, that's all he does. He just dreams all the time. You tell him to come on the show.
He's my dreamer.
He's a dreamer.
Hey, watch Richard Smith. Rafinha. Brocking up, man. And guess what? Harry Kane. This is for you, Zach. Kane is only bad against San Marino.
San Marino, yeah.
Exactly.
He's a San Marino specialist. Guys, if you watch the show on
Sky Channel,
no, not on Sky Channel, on Facebook, and you watch the show, even if you watch it, please share it now on your page, so people can go back and watch it. And all those funny comments that Tipper Irie is putting out, especially Zach, you'll get a chance to laugh at them again. You know what I mean? The Fixture List Show tomorrow. We're on Sky Channel 182 from 12 midday. You can watch back the show. Zach, you can watch back the show. You don't have to wait for me to WhatsApp you. You can watch it back, bro. You know you're record breaking like that, son. All right. And Robert, nice to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
Don't go doing that again. Don't start doing that again.
Not available.
Protect yourself, yeah? Protect yourself.
I will do.
That sickness was, we were worried. And Ernie, what can I say?
What? Nothing. Nothing. You can't say nothing.
I can't say nothing.
No. Nothing at all.
I can't say nothing. Because Ole is at the wheel.
Well, let's wait for the scores to come in this weekend.
Yeah,
All
before we say anything.
We'll bragging rights for next week.
Yeah, we'll see. So Tipper, watch out for the phone, son.
All right, man. I'll be waiting.
Bring.
So, win, lose, or draw, yeah?
Bring. I'll text you at 2.
All right, then, brother. No
Maybe.
problem.
All
I'm
right,
going to
Zach.
call you at half time.
I do that. Listen, Zach, thanks for joining us. Tipper Irie in the house.
Bless
Robert
up,
White,
Ernie.
Take care, man.
Respect, brother.
Daddy
Boom,
Ernie,
boom.
and Robo Ranks. Listen,
Rob,
as I
nice
said,
to meet you, brother. Them
Nice
not
to
no
meet
manners,
you.
brethren.
All right. Take care, man.
Yeah, man. Respect.
right.
Nice to meet you, man. Them not no manners, Robert, but nice to meet you, yeah?
But you were the one that was sitting there eating at the same time when we were doing the show. Who's got
Yeah,
manners
you know what I
problem
mean?
now?
And he never even had an air fryer.
Yeah. And listen, guys, we'll be back next week, Friday, 8
Zach,
p.m.
nice to meet you, brother. Take care.
All right.
Bless
take
up.
care.
Yo!
Peace.
Man.